That's going to set him back 5 yards. So the delay of game penalty moves it back 5. That makes it 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Breeze. He hits his target, left side, Watson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And this is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. As Seattle makes their way back out here, Charles, let's take a little deeper dive as they go into the offseason, what they need to do. They led the NFL in rushing yards. You talked about it. They ran the football well. Where do they need to improve?
Maybe a little less stubbornness in establishing the run at times, because Chris Carson, their lead back, didn't get started against Dallas. Mike Davis couldn't add a whole lot. Rashad Penny, who was a rookie, he didn't add a whole lot in that one as well. Sometimes you have to let Russell Wilson be the guy and let him throw it around. They'll continue to work on that in the offseason to fortify him with a few more weapons on the perimeter, I believe.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. This is Carson. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Now it's Carson, and he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. They run it with Carson. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. On 3rd down, Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession there, and you'd have to say it's not like him to come up short on a kick like that.
Yeah, and it's real easy for me to say this, but anything in the 40 to 49-yard range should be pretty automatic for an NFL kicker, especially in terms of at least getting it there. So you're right. That is a surprise that this will come up short.
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Ready. Blue 80. Check.
Now Brees. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
Get set.
Shotgun now for Brees. Smith catches left side. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like right at the 40. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Brees going to try and throw on 3rd down. And that's caught by Smith. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield.
Ready. Blue 80.
Now Brees again. Over the middle, complete. It's Carr. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Brees going to come up here, 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
Ready.
Brees gives it up to Ingram. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
On 2nd down, Ingram. And not much running room. Down to the 32. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. Play clock getting low, so Sean Payton says let's take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Over. Kill.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he picks up the 1st before he's taken down at the 29. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
That's quite a spot there for his 1st carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that 1st. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now they'll throw with Breeze. And that is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. This offense 2 for 2 on third downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though, 3rd and long. Throwing now is Breeze. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Well, while we have a second, let's look ahead of the divisional round of the AFC. Of course, Indianapolis and Kansas City kicking things off. And, Charles, the Colts 4-0 all-time versus KC in the playoffs. They're becoming a pretty trendy pick.
They really are, and a lot of it is because of the strength of their offensive and defensive lines, not to mention how Andrew Luck is playing in his comeback season here in 2018. But Kansas City, the #1 seed, they're seeking to break that trend of losing games in the playoffs at home that they shouldn't. This is another opportunity with Patrick Mahomes leading the way.
Speaking of losing games in the playoffs, Phillip Rivers and the Chargers 0-7, including the playoffs against New England with Tom Brady at quarterback. Can they stem the tide?
This is their opportunity. No better chance for the Chargers to get it done. As I always say to you, if not now, Chargers, when? Even though it is going to New England.
On second down, Wilson finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson, eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Well, Charles, a little bit earlier you were talking about the first time that the Saints and Eagles met up earlier this season as we think about their upcoming playoff game, which you will be calling, by the way. But 48-7 was the final in Week 11. What are the keys in this upcoming game?
Well, for New Orleans, an intact offensive line would be a great start. They were dinged up a little bit down the stretch. Their ability to run the football with Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara allows Drew Brees to make those throws downfield to guys like Mike Thomas and make the big plays and, of course, swing it out to Kamara out of the backfield. On the defensive side of the ball, their ability to pressure Nick Foles will actually be a key in this game. Cam Jordan, their all-pro defensive end, will have a big hand in that.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Ready. You waiting? Waiting for check.
To throw is Breeze. Flushed it, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. Returnable for Lockett. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. A big play there just before halftime. 43 yards. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson escaping the pressure right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted.
Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and 1, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. And Janikowski bangs it through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Now after the made field goal, here's Sebastian Janikowski to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. The final shot before half for Breeze. He's going to air one out. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. They go play action for Ingram. Now Breeze. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Come on. Good set. Alert flare.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. On third and long, it's Breeze. And this is a catch by Ted Ginn. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A big gain of 31 on third down.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or 2 in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
Breeze hands to Ingram. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
From midfield, here's Breeze. He's got Smith here. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down.
Ready. Yellow lady.
They'll go for it. It's Breeze. And that is going to be incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Now that we sit in the postseason, let's talk about some of these awards we've been hitting on all year, Charles. MVP, what do you think?
Well, I think it's going to come down to Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback of Kansas City, Drew Brees, quarterback New Orleans, and Aaron Donald, the defensive tackle for the Los Angeles Rams. I ultimately think that Mahomes wins this award. I think he distanced himself late in the season from Breeze. It's hard for a defender to win the MVP.
Rookie of the year, Barkley, or does Mayfield have a shot?
Personally, I would give it to Barkley because he's been there all 16, but Mayfield made Cleveland relevant, put them in a position where maybe we were even talking about the playoffs, and boy, the excitement level has really ramped up. I would not be surprised at all if he walked away with the award.
Lastly, what about Coach of the Year? Does Frank Reich have a shot after starting 1-5 in Indy?
He should be in that conversation, shouldn't he? But I think ultimately it comes down to Matt Nagy in Chicago and Anthony Lynn with the Los Angeles Chargers. I think Nagy's going to win it because the Chargers were picked in preseason to actually win their division or contend. The Bears were not.
To throw is Wilson. To throw on third down. Flushed out right. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, a 22.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Carson, and an alley to run. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Come on, tempo.
They run again with Carson. And after the good game last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2. Wilson. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one.
Let's go. Check 50, check 50.
And they'll run it here. And he showed a nice little juke, but then the window quickly closed. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
One play at a time, guys. Let's go. Don't take too long. Run left.
Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter.
Don't take forever, okay? Shotgun. 380.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he's brought down. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on set? And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great play there. Taking it in. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Janikowski good with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Out to kick is Janikowski. That's fielded in the end zone. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. Breeze now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Ready. Yellow lady, yellow lady. Good, good, good. 5-4, ready. Ready, attack.
A handoff. It's Mark Ingram. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Ready. We waiting.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. Caught on the left side by Ginn. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
4 down, 4 down. Hey, Mike 50. Ready, attack.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. The open man is Smith. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Go down. Ready. Yellow lady. Check 43. Ready, attack.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Smith. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down in. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Hey, two. 95-56, 95-56. Alert 3. Yes. Kill. Ready, attack.
Into the red zone, it's Breeze. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Ready. Yellow lady. Easy, kill.
Now a handoff to Ingram. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Bringing him to the ground defensively, Tedrick Thompson.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Ready.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. And he's got it. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Ted Ginn from 17 yards out. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Wilson wants to throw it. They'll set up the screen with Davis. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Seahawks on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Wilson to throw. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Here's the sneak with Wilson. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. So the D-line got the push there against the O-line to stop that quarterback sneak.
A really high percentage call on offense. I think it's the right call. But as you noted, if they didn't get the push, you can't get in there. There's no place for him to go. That's why the whole play got stuffed.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
Bree's going to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they will finally stop him, but a great return gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
And am I seeing this correctly? They brought out the field goal team here on 1st down. A 33-yarder from the left half. And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Well, there's 2 sides here. I guess you could pinpoint and look at the offense and say, oh, man, what a disaster. Hey, the defense, though, they came through.
Preparation's the key to everything, and when you're on the defensive side of the ball and in special teams meetings, you prepare for plays like this, and in this case, they were actually able to win it.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points, so while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end the ball game.
And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now Breeze. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Ben Watson was the intended target. And that takes us from second to third down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Eluding the pressure right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Shaquille Griffin with a pick.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. He lets it fly for Lockett. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing. And then you go on the road.